Let's see here. We want to open a new split. Get twit running there. Great. Bump that down to like there. Whoop, Michelle. Let's see here. Get status. What we got going on here? Get diff. Always thinking enabled. I don't know what caused that to change. I will be writing TypeScript for work after months. Any tips for me? What is it? Your background's Go, if I remember correctly. Is that true? So the type systems for Go and TypeScript semantically are fairly close. Syntactically, they're very different. Like TypeScript's type syntax can be pretty horrible, but like fundamentally how types work, they're both structural duck type languages. So I think you'll feel pretty familiar there. Honestly, my best advice is write your TypeScript like you would write your Go. Obviously, the exception being like concurrency stuff, because TypeScript's single threaded and doesn't have native green threads like Go routines. But if you write your TypeScript code like you write your Go, you will write reasonably good TypeScript off the rip. In fact, I think TypeScript developers would be well served from writing some production stuff in Go. Well, really any language, but Go being a good one that I think there's a lot of good lessons there. Congrats for Cloudflare, boss. Thank you. Feels good to finally have out in the open. I know we've talked about it on stream relatively openly, but it does feel good to have completely out in the open. All right, so AI completely nuked my setup here, so I am working on what is the syntax? What are my keybinds for this? Is it? I actually don't know my keybinds for changing the horizontal width of course. Home config tmux plugin. Brackets. What the fuck is that doing? There we go. All right, so there's that. I might be trying Effect. I've heard a lot about Effect from you. Hell yeah, dude! I'm game to talk Effect and help you ramp up on that. Let's see here. All right, so let's see if this is running first of all. So I started 2 days ago. We started trying to add TAN-stack router in, and then AI just like botched a migration. So I'm starting with TAN-stack, and then I'm gonna add LiveStore on top of that. Feels like a easier approach. Yeah, I'll be writing a ton of TypeScript at Cloudflare. Mostly TypeScript, some Go, and maybe some Rust and maybe some C++ if I step my toes into the runtime. Let's see here. I want to go to localhost 3000. All right, so we have 10-stack router working, great. Home post, great. Everything is working here. Okay, this is what we want from our router. That looks good, and I think we're actually deployed on Cloudflare already. Let me look here at what is, oh, you have a lot of updates there. Let's get those updated quick. Anything interesting? I should probably take a look at the GitHub stuff that Snacks has been adding recently. You see this? That's probably a nice perf boost and probably setting the groundwork for TypeScript tools to use TSGo. Crispy, I haven't updated my resume for like 3 years. I wouldn't even consider my resume probably that great of an example. Let me see if I can find it quick. I'm gonna have to blur some stuff. But I can show what I've used traditionally. I think Go is the right choice, John. I can talk about TypeScript Go in a second. Let me see if I even have my resume. I might not even have a resume anymore. Like I might need to restart. Resume 2024. Yeah, this is. Let me. Hopefully this blurred my screen. All right, we are blurred. Great. I'm just going to cover this. All right. This doesn't have my address on it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here's the resume I used for Vercel. And like I think it's fine, but it's not like I don't know. I don't when I'm hiring a mid-level dev plus, like I glance at a resume. Like I scan it over once and then I don't really think about it again. Unless I'm doing like some sort of deep dive interview on like stuff you've worked on. I like look over it, make sure it like checks the boxes that like it seems like you know what you're talking about and doing, and then I don't really think about it again. Like I don't put a lot of weight into resumes at all. What up, Jimmy? Do people still use CVs and feel like all the recruiters only care about yeah, most of my like it's tough for juniors. Like I feel bad because I don't know what the right advice to give juniors nowadays is, because the industry has changed so much for juniors. But like once you're in, finding future jobs is way more about connecting with people and building your network and your reputation, and you know, blog about what you're working on and things you're interested in, uh, make content and videos trying to teach the things you're interested in and what you're learning. Like that stuff is really, really, really high signal uh, in a industry that is very saturated with candidates. And it's also a great way to learn, like for better or for worse, like especially with AI, like the engineers that are going to get employed like going forward are the ones that like really care about the craft, that can pull back the layers of the onion on the tech stacks they're working with and go deeper and understand it more deeply and not be afraid to do that, and also like for better or worse at the same time like leverage AI appropriately, um, but not like full reliance on it. I think OCaml would be better for it. I think if the TypeScript team was basically starting from scratch in writing a compiler, that OCaml would probably be the right choice. Rust or OCaml, and probably OCaml because like all the compiler tooling in the web dev ecosystem over the years that's built in Rust has moved to using arena allocators and basically recreating their own garbage collector. So like, why not get all the things you love about Rust with basically the best garbage collector of any language or ecosystem in OCaml? That's my hot tech there. But that's not what happened with Go, TS Go. They basically code modded, and because kind of what I was saying to Bishal earlier, because the type systems are so similar between TypeScript and Go, they were basically able to do a port rather than a rewrite of all the TypeScript compiler to Go, and then like work backwards on making it more Go like and more efficient, because the type systems are so similar. Um, so in that way, like Go made way more sense than like OCaml or Rust. How did I get the job? Cloudflare basically headhunted me and like approached me for the job. I didn't apply. And for what it's worth, Neck and Crispy, like this was the first job where I didn't like, where my reputation and the things I've achieved like in my career unlocked the opportunity for me to have like that. Like I've I've always found jobs through like former colleagues or connections through colleagues. Like I don't I think the last time I submitted my resume for a job was I don't even remember if I submitted my resume for, and when I say submitted resume, I mean like going through like an online job portal. I think Ken Wheeler might have referred me and submitted me for this. I don't remember if I went through the job portal or not, but like Main Street, Scalum, and Vercel, like I didn't like apply for. Like I got connected with like the engineering managers or the team leads and ended up getting referred because I knew people who could vouch for me, um, and get my foot in the door so I didn't have to go through like resume screening. My keyboard is the oh, what the hell is the it's the Voyager. Juniors are really fuck. Gotta say that. Theo said, and I thought this. Sorry, I'm like really catching up on chat here. Theo said, and I thought it was super great. If you're the smartest dev, you're fucked right now. If you're the smartest dev, you're fucked right now. What what was the underlying point of that? I mean, I think if you're ever working somewhere and you feel like you're the smartest dev at the company or on your team, then it's time to move on. Like, I never ever want to feel like I'm the smartest person somewhere because like I want to be surrounded by people I can learn from. I got really demoralized about TSGO when I saw them vibe coding in PRs using GitHub agent. If I don't know if I'd feel that bad about that. I have 5 years of experience and cannot land a job through applications. Well, I can't say cannot, but haven't had luck over the last year. Yeah, recruiters, engaging with recruiters on LinkedIn can work. I actually had a really good experience in finding my job at Scalum. So this job right here, this is where I was writing OColumn. OColumn. I was writing OCaml. I um, I reached out to a recruiter who had worked with another one of my former coworkers, and that was a really positive experience. And they connected me with Scalum. So like going through recruiters, especially good recruiters that work for like small independent shops, can be good. What makes a dev shine more than others? Their genuine passion and interest in their work, I would say, which comes through pretty clearly if you have experience interviewing. I don't think you need connections higher up the ladder in companies. Like if you can target companies you know you want to work at and just like get connected with like a dev on the team and build like a relationship with them or the team lead or the EM, like you don't have to be really high up the org chart to make those connections. The underlying point is that if you aren't progressing, move on. Yeah, agreed. What up, Tree? Tree 4. Is that project open source on GitHub? It's funny. I don't know if this is on my resume. No, but we built at Scalum. We built a Excel plugin in OCaml. Like no joke, that was a real thing that happened. All right. Let's see here. Let me get caught up on some notifications quick. All right. So I want to get the tan stack docs up. We'll want those up, and we were trying to deploy before this. Probably. I would think so. How to finish side projects? That's a great question because I am notorious for not finishing side projects. My GitHub is a graveyard. Like I start a lot of side projects because I want to learn something and like have an interesting idea, and like I end up like building out to the point where I feel like I've learned what I need to learn, and then I have a tendency to abandon things. Where do I get my hoodies from? All over the place. I bought a lot from Target, funny enough. Let's see if we're deployed here. That's the thing I wanted to look into. Because I've forked this. I think I generated this by clicking deploy to Cloudflare. So let's go to Cloudflare. Guess I got to learn how to use Cloudflare, huh? If I'm going to be working there. All right, so it looks like we are deployed, which means there should be yeah, there we go. Great. All right, so we're good there. Now let's start porting over LiveStore, and then we'll port over the component library we made. So we have LiveStore over here, and hopefully I didn't cook it too much. In fact, we could probably just create a new project quick, because I'm sure AI destroyed all of this. So let's go pull up the LiveStore docs. The good news is once this is set up, we can start writing code pretty quickly and get, I want to get better off and the login system built today. That's my goal. We want the new versions. I'm working on making a app to share recipes with my family. We're not migrating. I tried to get AI to set up TanStack start with LiveStore and the code base I already had, and Claude just like went off the rails, and I didn't have it in Git, so I had no like backup, and it just became too much of a mess that I was like, what kind of recipes? Cooking? Yeah. Go take a look at that. It's a good starting point. Don't want to distract you, but for typical reactive, what language which language would be best project on your resume in? I don't think it matters. Mushroom, I think you should pick whatever you have the most interest in and learn that, because what interests you is gonna make you stick with it. What up, MS? Something feels wonky there. Here we go. Let's see here. We want to change directory into temp.
Functions describe the world.
Change into LiveStore. And then let's see here. All right, so we've got a good starting point here. So let's vim, and we're gonna grab basically all of this and jump over here and drop that in here. And let's do an old sort piece. Great, jump back over here. You might already have some of this, but let's find out. All right, so we got a bunch of dupes. That's good. We can take the newer version of Wrangler. And then we can delete these. And we can run the old sort. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. Let's go. Do a rm-rf on node modules here, and our lock file, pnpm lock, and we'll do a pni. Okay, got that. Let's see here. I don't know why Johannes put that in, but we can do that. I don't know how engines works for sure, but we'll yoink that, go over here, and throw this, I don't know, down here. Okay. Let's also do a pn. I never remember if it's update or upgrade. Okay. Pin up, and then we can do latest. Yo, what? Did Johannes cut a new release of LiveStore? No, I don't think so. Let me go check. How does he release this? Where? This doesn't feel right. Yeah, alias pnpm to pn. I guess let's go look at npm. Just to check that quick. npm, and we want to go to not at LiveStore slash one dot. It says that is the most recent. Okay, so that was published pretty recently. Man, what are these snapshots? Actually, I think I want to try doing something different here. Quit view. Ah, that is why I ended up turning off on-screen chat, is because we have double chats. Right. All right, I feel like that's more centered for me. All right, so that looks right. Okay, let's run dev again. Or do we have dev running anywhere? We don't. Let's run that and make sure we're still alive. All right, that looks good there. And let's go ahead and do a, what are our scripts? Preview, deploy. Let's do a pn deploy. One dot 0.5 is 4 months old, while 0.4. Okay, then we'll switch back to that. Four months ago. So yeah, okay, so we are gonna want to do that then. You can probably close that. And we'll go up here and we'll revert that. What was it? The WA SQL. It's probably WASM SQLite. Yeah. Remove pnpm lock. Remove dash rf node modules. One thing I want to do in the next couple weeks is I want to rewrite my Twitch integrations to deploy on Cloudflare and use Effect 4.0 to do it. So that's something else I want to do. But I want to get the login and the foundations of this app built first. Because I want to try to have this app working by Thanksgiving. PNI. Great. Yo, it'd be sweet if it released before Christmas, because we'll spend all of Christmas playing with it on stream. Maybe we would do Advent of the Code using Effect. I don't know, maybe. Probably wouldn't be very fun, to be honest. I just don't like Advent of the Code that much. What's generally your stack for your hobby projects? All over the place, Jobin. Mostly based in TypeScript. I used to write a lot of OCaml. Oh, snap. I didn't know that, John. It's kind of crazy.
Functions describe the world.
All right. We got that. So let's start copying over. There should be a... I want to copy over the... There should be a vendor directory in here. Yeah, I want to copy recursive. That's a hard key to hit. Vendor up into Mulroy recipes. And now we should see that in here. Shit. I did that wrong. There we go. All right, got that. Now let's go to our, we want to go down into temp. And in here, we want to grab, we probably need a bunch of this. All right. Convert JSON C to TOML OSX CLI. Okay. Wrangler is, yeah. So we do I like TOML better than JSON, to be honest. Yeah, it's like, it'd be like the same as, it's similar to like Vercel.json, right? Or like their version of like Terraform, kind of. Really? That's so annoying. Can I just copy a file? Can I not PB copy a file? Okay, that makes sense. Go, do it. I think the VODs should be uploading. If the VODs aren't uploading, let me know. They should be going to my YouTube channel. I don't really keep up with my YouTube channel all that much. Great. All right. We've got that. All right. So then we need, let's go, actually, let's close that. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted. Wrong keybind. Lol. And we want to, in here, we want to do a v split. No, v new. That gives us an empty buffer. And we want to go over to here. We want to yoink this back over here, paste this in here. We can set the file type to toml. And then we'll need this in our compatibility flags. Let's jump over there, make that that. And then we want to grab the bindings that we need for sync backend DO. We'll do change to P, do that again. This will be Mulroy recipes preview. And then the same thing here. Morning, y'all. What's a Wrangler? Wrangler is the CLI tool for Cloudflare. We should write a, oh, damn it, chat. I just had a really good idea. We should write an LSP for Wrangler files. That'd be a really good idea with some like good code actions and stuff. That would be cool, wouldn't it? All right, we'll put that on the, we'll put it on the back burner. I want to, all right. We have to get the login and the landing page built for this app so I can build it in my free time. And then I want to do like a quick couple, like 2 or 3 days porting my Twitch integrations over to Cloudflare from fly.io and Vercel and build on and try out Effect 4.0. And then maybe we write the LSP for Wrangler. That would be fun. We could get into like some like syntax tree stuff and like look at the source code of Effects LSP. There is maybe, but like I think you could get well, let's find out. I think you could get like more than just autocomplete. Like LSPs do more than autocomplete. And it'd be cool to have it work for does toml have schema files like JSON-C specifically for Cloudflare Wrangler.toml. That looks like what we're pointing it at. Oh, we do update this line. Theoretically, that works. I don't know if that worked or not. No, I'm using Raycast, not Alfred. So let's say I deleted the compatibility date. Can I get, no, I'm not getting any sort of, maybe it needs to be local. Like this. In fact, I know what we're going to do here in a second. Wait, what? All right, let's see if that works. I'm not getting any sort of autocomplete. I don't know if I have to install like a... Oh, LSP for Toml? Probably. Is there a Toml LSP? Taplow. All right, we can try installing Taplow. There it is. Okay, that's pretty good. Now imagine having some code actions for this, right? Like if I could come in here and do like this, and there was code actions, and you could be like create new dev environment or create new durable object. Like that could be sick. Okay, that looks like what we need out of that file. We want to go here, and we probably want to start copying a bunch of this. This doesn't need to be as big as it is. This can be somewhere like that. And so livestore.worker.ts. We'll come over here and we'll go to source and we'll add livestore.worker.ts. Yes, in there, paste that in. That's good. We got to get the schema. That's fine. In here, what do we do? Anything fancy in here? No. We probably want this file. So ambient.d.ts. Ambient.d.ts. Paste that in there. Over here, we'll let's actually close this, and we're going to open this over here and just go up here, 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 here. Was that in main? No, that was in root. So let's go here and we're going to LiveStore shell.tsx. And in here, oh, we need to copy a lot more stuff here. We'll do LiveStore as a directory. And in there we will want I don't think I'm gonna be able to copy this into here, but we'll try. Ah, it did work. Hell yeah, brother. Don't look at the source of effect LSP, bad stuff there. Listen, it works beautifully, Mattia, and that's all that matters. And it's one of the best LSPs available, so as far as utility at least.
Functions describe the world.
What else do we have over here? We have this CF worker. I'm wondering where it looks for this. But we'll copy this anyway. And move that up into source LiveStore and paste that in there. This is probably, yeah, it should. Sure. All right, that looks good there. We probably want to go look at the Vite stuff. Actually, let's reconcile our TS configs while we're here. These look identical. It's because they're the same file. I don't know what does ES module interop do in TS config? Sure, that's fine. JSX. All right. We are going to use Claude for a second, and we're going to say, go to Moroi, Claude, sort at ts config, sort and organize ts config similar to this, keeping all our current configurations and settings. This is just a organization / comments task. Yeah, I hate TS config too. Job, unemployed. There's not really a better solution to TS config. All right. There we go. What else do we have in here? Add the ts config JSON schema to the file for autocomplete. Great. Good job, Claude. Do I need to... Okay, that doesn't feel like it worked. That doesn't feel right, does it, chat? I feel like I've seen... All right, we're gonna do this again. ts config dot JSON. I just want to see. What is the schema for ts config to add to JSON? Okay, I guess it's right. Whatever. I think this is probably fine. And let's go back to where we were. in here. We probably want to look at Vite now. So let's jump over to our Vite config in here. We want to bring in LiveStore. And we want to add LiveStore after React. And that's going to go, all right, that does take us to the right place. Great. Okay, this all looks good. That looks good. I don't really care about that. We grab that, components, that's fine. Utils, store ID, I think we want this. So let's yoink you. And we're going to move that up to our new directory. Oops, not melange for reactive devs. That's some old school stuff in there. We'll come in here and we'll just put store ID in that. And there's going to be a type check that fails somewhere. Oh, that might have been in the root file that we need. Right, we needed to get that other stuff in before we did this. So we have our we basically want this. Why is it not? That's weird, right? Like it should be picking up the types. Oh, no, I see why. It should be able to detect this one. No? That's also weird. Listen, I'm bopping Kraut. And batch updates comes from React DOM. And sync payload comes from, we should be able to import that. That should be our own thing. Yep. And this can take LiveStore, what do we call it, shell. This will take children. And then we can render children here. Is children really not typed on that? There we go. All right, so that's set up. TypeScript tools looks like it's working fine. Although the settings looks wrong. That does look wrong. If I do, no, my shit's still there. All right, I think we have all our LiveStore stuff. I think we're pretty much good there. We might want some like revisit this for reference. So let's like copy this and we're just gonna do like LiveStore reference components dot ts. All right, so now we have some reference components we can look at here and do that, and now we can close that. All right, let's make sure we can still build and run and everything works. We'll redeploy, we'll commit, and then we'll bring over our component library page, see if we can get that in, and then we build the login page. Let's see here, pn. See if we build. That looks good. That looks good. Oh. File is entry point. Okay. So where did that come from? Is that like a where does that come from? Hi, Morgan. Use define for class fields. I don't think that's over here. I don't even know what that is for. We can check, I guess. Ah. Okay. I can, I actually like that. Thanks, hot dog. We'll drop that under, I don't know, probably bundler. Is there anything else over here that like, I don't know what some of this does. Okay, that's fine. I cannot, Morgan. I'm sorry. Okay, that seems fine. We'll take that. Seems like that's an option you would want anyways. Let's just try installing again and then running build. Look at that, John. You're basically a freaking AI bot, dude. I wonder why it works over here, but not over here. Why does running build in work then? What's different? I want to understand what's happening. Yeah, 1 second. Ah. So let's see. See you, Morgan. If we do that, there we go. Okay. Okay, we replicated. Great. So we'll install exactly what it asked. That types library, just like John said. And let's try building again. Ah, why not? Was it CF type gen? It's right there. What the hell is happening in here? It's so Jover. This is like the worst part of TypeScript, without a doubt. It's just like, I don't want to deal with this bullshit. Like, everything's right, but... And now suddenly it's fine. Like, what?
Functions describe the world.
Yeah. The Vite config's right here. So this feels like a tsconfig problem again, which is annoying as hell. Yeah, I see that. Whoops. So that goes in here. What does optimize depths do? Wait, I wonder which... I think we might be having a conflict on our Wrangler files. Maybe. That's certainly a possibility.
Functions
Source routes
describe
index.ts.
the world.
Source routes index.ts. env, like it should, right? Should that not exist? Like m dot, it's not resolving that. Like it certainly does. God, I hate TypeScript, bro. See, it sees it. All right, let's think about how this is happening. This is tsconfig for sure. Like not even a question. And it's gotta be a delta. Well, let's come in here and let's grab this and let's add this to the Wrangler toml over here and see if we can get at it in this one. What? Yeah, whatever. That's... So LiveStore is hiding what is the command? We're just looking at types, Wrangler types. Okay, and then we should be able to, in here, if we go to like source, the worker, fetch env, where does this come from? That's interesting. Because theoretically, M should have
functions describe the world.
like we should be able to union this. I'm so confused. Chat, I'm so confused right now. I hate TypeScript tooling so much. Like this should be actually like unioned with cloudflare.env. And then this should be, just get rid of that. And I should be able to have where's the and? Oh, bro. It's... Oh my god, it's ambient declaration merging. I have never gotten hit by this bug in my entire life. That's crazy. All right, so look at this chat. Oh my god, it's not using... So TypeScript does this thing called declaration merging on interfaces, and it's one reason people will say to use types over interfaces. How can I show what this looks like? Let's do foo.ts and bar.ts. Let's write those files, and let's say in here I have interface foo, and foo just has like bar on it, and let's just say it's that type, right? And then let's go to bar, and let's say interface foo. We'll redeclare this, and we have bar, and we'll just say this is baz. And now let's go to like just a temp.ts. We'll go in here. And if I say like const declare const x is a foo. X.bar is baz. Even though if we look in here, subsequent property declarations must have the same type. Okay, so that caught it. But what's happening is because LiveStore is exporting LiveStore is overriding this. So if I did that, and then I went into here, and we made this that should be forsaken me. All right, now I'm trying to figure out some stuff here. All right, so now it picks up that Cloudflare.
Speaks the gospel
And
of
now
the
this
camel.
should have.
I speak
There's
the gospel of the dunes.
there's my
The sand is
stuff.
in my veins.
Now what happens if we go back
Come
to
ride
our
a camel with me today.
Get out of here. I don't want to be in this. If I change this back to that, that's probably wrong. Is this actually a declaration merging issue? Okay. Okay. We're okay. The only way this would break is like we're getting this let's see here. Does that have it on it still, or is that just... Yeah, so we have this admin secret on the M that's coming from LiveStore. And then if I came in here and added a... What's up?
I'm taking this.
Oh, okay.
Also, I'm getting hangry, so I just made Easy Mac.
Oh, okay.
They scheduled a meeting during my lunch.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm
tell them
very
to
mad.
tell them to fuck off. You have your lunch.
I'm doing it now.
All right. Fun employment is going well. I don't. Is this updating? Oh, I missed a bunch of chat. This wasn't scrolling.
Do they want to know about your Baldur's Gate journey?
What?
Do they want to know about your Baldur's Gate journey?
No.
What?
26 months in a row. Thanks, Nate. I appreciate you, buddy.
Oh, subscribing to you?
Yeah.
I just canceled my subscription.
Rip.
Now that we're married, I don't have to support you as much, right?
Something like that, I guess.
Something like that. Okay. Come on, kiddos.
So if I go into Wrangler Tommel and I do admin secret, I'm curious. Actually, let's make this a number. Like, let's make this just like 69. And we document has been excluded. The fuck does that mean? I don't know what that means. But if we do a types, we now have this, and I would be curious in here what it thinks. Oh, it broke it. There's a collision. And look, there's another workers deconfiguration. So if I get rid of this, do they merge fine? Whoops, right. I should probably get rid of the... All right, so that's gone. Now I'm curious, is this still never? Okay, they just can't clash, I guess, which is fine. Okay. We've resolved the issue. Yeah, this is actually giving me a 503. I guess let's go find that. TS config JSON schema. Is this just like not real anymore? RIP? This is mine. It's kind of crazy. Is it just like down, down? Hosted on Azure. Do they have two of the same records on there? Why do they have duplicate records? Let's go. I'll try Schema Store. schemastor.org/tsconfig.json. There we go. That worked. Our hero. All right. Are we so back yet? Pn run build. We're so back, chat. All right. Get remote. Get URL. Origin. Great. Setup. All right, we got that. And let's do a pn run deploy. We've got that going. Great. And let's make a new tab for the dev server. We can just get rid of this. And we'll say dev server. And we'll do pn dev. That's going to spin up mini flare. Oh shit. Cannot apply a new class migration that is not exported by script. I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. Actually, we're gonna do the opposite here. We're gonna do toml to JSON. Can I flip this? It'd be nice if they had a flip button. Toml to JSON. To JSON-C. We can just save it as JSON-C, it's fine. Copy, got 87 lines to 51. So verbose. We'll come in here and we'll do pb paste into wrangler.jsonc. Let's look at the head of that, make sure that worked. Great, and then we can remove the toml, and we can go into here and we can comment out the stuff we don't need so far. Pretty much down through here, those can be comments. And now we can type Great. We're so back. Can we deploy? Okay, perfect. Fix Wrangler. Now let's copy, we want to copy over our Tailwind configuration. Oh, this is going to be so annoying. It's going to be the most annoying part. I might make another cup of coffee quick. I'll do that after we get Tailwind copied. So to get that, oh God. I guess we can start. What is some of this? Did AI come up with this, or is this elevated thing like actually legit? Um, Interesting. All right, I think I might just copy over most of this. We just committed, so we're not going to lose our work if we let Claude go buck wild. So let's clear. Let's actually end this, and let's go in here, and we're going to start up Claude again. And we're going to go there, and we're going to add a dir. We're going to go up. We're going to go to Mulroy recipes old. Add that. Yes. We're going to yoink this. And then we're going to tell Claude, create a plan for copying and integrating the Tailwind for configuration and ShadCN. Is it using ShadCN? Probably. Components. I don't actually see a components dot thing.
Functions describe the
Okay,
world.
so we can ignore that. For and theme slash styles from mulroy.recipes.old to mulroy.recipes. Ultra think. Okay. I think we created a login form. I think there should be a login form already made over here. If we go and look under source components, probably under this. Login form. Yeah, we have one made. What is class variance authority? I've never heard of that. Love your streams. Wanted to hear your thoughts on lead code-based interviews in tech companies. I hate lead code. I hate giving lead code interviews. I hate taking lead code interviews. I think they provide a very poor signal, and we should abolish them. That's my take. No lead code, man. You're the goat. You I freaking hate lead code. Let's go to Shadcn. Okay, we could scoop one of these up. All right. Sign up. Oh no. Sign up images are borked. No bueno. Browse blocks. All right. Resolved. Keep to one exact theme. So we'll say one is, I guess, use Vite. I did not. I had a unique experience that most people wouldn't have interviewing at Cloudflare, but I've heard that their interview process is pretty good. I've heard it's long, but it's reasonable and not super lead codey. Uh, copy. Want the exact theme or copy modernized spacing. Keep the color theme, but modernize the config. And remove anything that's unneeded / extra. We want to keep it simple to start, but maintain the overall style. We can, let's see here. No. We can remove CVA if we don't need it. We can remove the elevate system as well. And does Tailwind 4 recommend starting with the typography? You guys are so annoying. And remove the Tailwind typography to start. And yeah. I don't think we need that. I mostly just want the colors. All right. Go cook, my friend. All right. While this is cooking, actually, I'm gonna have to let it do npm install commands.
Functions
Wait, where's what did
describe
Nightshade
the
say?
world.
Did I just completely miss what Nightshade said? What did he redeem? I missed it. I literally do not see Nightshade's redemption of anything. I saw you tag me in that, Privon. Yeah, I broke a layer in effect and asked Nightshade to redeem code review because I don't have enough points. Oh, did he do it? I mean, just, yeah, let me go make another cup of coffee and just send me a GitHub link, John. All right. What is this thing doing? All right. The platform package is great, bro. We'll take a look. We'll get it working. All right. I'm hoping that this can just cook. All right. Yep. I'll be right back. Hopefully it doesn't get caught up. Okay, we're back. Let's see what this ends up looking like here. Let's just rebuild the lock server. Not the lock server, the dev server. It was like fall rustic colors, kind of. Look at that perfect timing. All right, here we go. Looks pretty good. Oh, dude, nice dev tools. Wow. Thing is, we don't need TanStack for much. We really just need TanStack for SSR, and we need it for the router, and that's really all we're going to use it for. So let's see if we can figure out how to wire up LiveStore now. We have our LiveStore shell, and we're going to go to our router. Where's the entry point? Root? It's probably root, right? And theoretically, we should be able to go here now and uncomment this stuff. See you, Vishal. See you, Tree. No start context found in. All right, let's see if that helps. I'm not sure if it will or not. All right, so I wonder if we can server render. We're gonna have to work on server rendering some stuff. Ooh, that was a hit. But it feels like we're working this time. It's clearly not playing nice with tan stack. And I don't have my dev tools for some reason. Interesting. So we need to make it play nice with. It probably just doesn't have an adapter for tan stack or something. That's what I'm guessing the problem is. maybe I need this running on a different port, potentially. I think what's happening is like it's trying to hit like what would be mini flare running in the background. And it's not seeing that. Because we can see this happening in the UI here, right? Like it's trying to hit this, connect to a WebSocket that doesn't exist here. We almost like need to proxy it through. And I don't know how to do that. Make WebSocket sync. Does this take a port? All right, so we get the WebSocket URL. Options.url. Okay. 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 We can work with this. This is giving us some options here. How was this being set up before? Vite. So there's the worker. There's the persistent adapter. We go to the worker. This dot global this dot location origin / sync. It's almost like because it's like a push-pull sync engine, and WebSockets are good for exactly that. Let me just try something really quick. Let's just say this is like localhost 3001 / sync. And what happens if I do this? Oh, I totally blanked, John. I'm so sorry. You figured it out though. That'll do it. You have to match the effect versions that are compatible with one another. Dev Okay, so it's still hitting 3,000. Interesting. All right, I might need to debug this with Johannes. I'm going to wrap up and raid Prime and then go eat some lunch. I don't feel like dealing with random dev tooling stuff. All right, chat. We'll be back on Monday. And I'll try to get this to a place where we can actually write code, or maybe we'll just jump into rewriting my Twitch stuff so we can actually write code and not deal with JavaScript tooling.